Have you ever wondered how a legal case actually gets started? It's not with some dramatic speech in a courtroom, that's for sure. It all begins with a single, really powerful document. That's basically the key to the entire justice system, the petition.
To really get the spirit of a legal petition, think about it like this. If you needed something from a king, right, you wouldn't just send off a casual text. You'd write a formal, super respectful letter, laying out your case with absolute precision.
Well, in modern law, the court is that king, and the legal petition is your formal request. But it's not just a polite ask, it's literally the official starting gun that kicks the whole legal process into gear.
And this brings us to the main idea we're going to use today. Just think of the entire court system as a locked door. The petition? That's your specially made key. And trust me, without it, you are not getting inside.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to look at its history, we'll break down all its parts, see all the different ways it's used, compare it to other legal docs, and then we'll walk through a real-world guide to filing one.
Okay, let's dive right into part one. Where did this whole idea of formally asking an authority for something even come from? You know, this idea is ancient. It's been evolving for thousands of years. It started with something called a libellus, or little book, in ancient Rome. Then it became a direct appeal to the English king. This right to ask for justice was considered so fundamental, so important, it was written directly into the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment.
So, let's be clear. A petition is not the place for a long, winding story. Its job is to give the court a super clear, structured blueprint of the case, who's involved, what happened, why the law is on your side, and, this is key, exactly what you want the judge to do about it.
All right, so if the petition is the key, let's see how it's actually built. What are the essential pieces that make this whole thing work?
Okay, every single petition starts with what's called the caption. This is like the to and from lines of an email. It's the metadata right at the top that tells everyone the who, what, and where, which court you're in, who's the petitioner and who's the respondent, and the case number that will stick with this thing forever. Next, you have to prove you've knocked on the right door. This section on jurisdiction is where you state the facts, usually stuff like where everyone lives, that gives this particular court the legal power to even hear your case in the first place.
Now we're getting to the heart of it, the body. Think of this as building your case brick by brick. Each numbered paragraph is one single, clear fact. This is not creative writing. It's about methodically laying the foundation for your request.
So after you've laid out all those facts, you get to my favorite part, the prayer for relief. It sounds kind of dramatic, right? But this part is absolutely critical. It's where you tell the judge, point blank, exactly what you want them to do. No beating around the bush, just a direct list of the orders you're asking for.
And finally, the signature and verification. And listen, this is not just signing your name. By putting your signature here, often under penalty of perjury, you're legally swearing that everything you've just said is true. It adds a ton of legal weight to the whole document. So now we know how the key is made, but what kinds of doors can you actually open with it? Let's check out some of the most common types.
Petitions are incredibly versatile. I mean, they're used to start divorce cases, to handle a person's will in probate court, for adoptions, for name changes. They're even used for really profound civil rights issues, like a writ of habeas corpus, which challenges if someone's being imprisoned unlawfully.
In the legal world, words matter. A petition is not the same thing as a complaint or a motion. They might sound similar, but they do very different jobs. So let's break down those differences quick.
This table really lays it all out. See, a petition or a complaint gets the ball rolling at the very beginning. A motion is a request you make during a case that's already happening. And an appeal, that comes after it's all over to challenge the result. I love these analogies. The petition is your formal application, and an appeal is you yelling, "Hey ref, you made a bad call."
Now, the one that trips people up the most is petition versus complaint. They both can start a lawsuit, but the real difference is the goal. A petition is usually asking for a specific court order, like grant this divorce. A complaint, on the other hand, is usually asking for money to make up for some kind of wrong, like a broken contract.
Okay, this is all great in theory, but how does it actually work in the real world? Let's walk through the basic steps of using this key of ours to actually open the courthouse door. You have to follow these 6 steps, and they are all critical. You've got to find the right court, get the right forms, draft a petition super carefully, file it with the clerk, pay the fee, and then, and this is a big one, you have to formally notify the other person in a way called service of process. If you skip any one of these, you could sink your case before it even gets started.
So this all leads us to a huge question about the future, right? Technology like e-filing and even AI is making it easier than ever to create and file a petition. But as that process gets simpler, how do we make sure we're balancing access to justice for everyone with keeping the high legal standards we need for a fair outcome? That's a really important question for our entire legal system moving forward.